I'm hacking into the system. I've got access to the Viacom main database. Okay, what's this? It says Jefferson White, risky, edgy, possible threat, eliminate. Do you guys fuck with fruit leather? Real cowboy's vegan. What do you think about that joke?
Anyway, I think we should talk about 108.
Wait, what's the what show?
Have you heard of Yellowstone?
Paramount Network's Yellowstone. Have I heard of it? Yeah, it's cable's most watched fucking drama of the summer. You kidding me? Say most engaged with social media show of the fucking generation. 35.6 billion people tuned in for the Yellowstone season finale. Do you know that? 35.6 billion.
Yeah, I was there. We were live tweeting. We trended on Twitter. That's a real fact.
We trended on Twitter?
Yeah, hashtag Yellowstone TV was the #5 United States trend during the season 2 finale.
That fucking rocks.
It's
That's
a real
amazing.
thing. I'm not making it up.
Do we get paid for that?
I mean, I should get paid for that, but I don't.
I should get paid a little, right?
I mean, maybe.
Talk to my people. Look, I'll talk to your people. You talk to my people. We'll figure out how we're both going to make some money from this.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Jefferson White. I play Jimmy on Paramount Network's Yellowstone. If you're here, if you're watching this, if you made it this far, chances are you're familiar with the show. Thank you so much. Thank you for clicking on us. There's a whole world of things to click on. A beautiful, shining cornucopia. The grapes, and there's a banana, and there's a pineapple. Those all represent metaphorical things that you could click on. And instead of those, you clicked on us. And what part of the cornucopia? There's a question for you. You've been sending us your questions. Here's a question for you. What part of the cornucopia is Yellowstone, do you think? Maybe there's like a steak. There's like a cornucopia with a bunch of fruit, and there's just like a rare steak sort of poking out too. It'd be a weird one.
You should ask Gator what would be a part of the Yellowstone cornucopia.
He would his answer would be fixing a delicious cornucopia for all of us. Welcome back. Thank you again so much for being here. Today we're going to talk about Yellowstone episode 108, The Unraveling, part 1. Part 1 of The Unraveling. And despite a protracted legal battle, the producers are still telling me we only get 5 minutes for this recap. Is that right? You sure you don't last minute change of heart?
No last minute change of heart. 5 minutes, but this is the episode you're going to do it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm manifesting that.
You're both sort of inhibiting me and denying me what I'm asking for, but also enforcing me. So that like affirming me. So that's probably a good strategy. I'm easily manipulated. I'm for sale in a big way. Okay, check it out. Here we go. Begin. 5 minutes on the clock. Okay, so this episode, very exciting. The very first thing we see is we open on a young Rip Wheeler. So we're finally going to learn more about Rip and where he comes from and how he wound up on the Yellowstone. So the very first thing that happens is in a flashback, we see young Rip Wheeler at a very violent crime scene. So his younger brother has been killed and his father is attacking his mother. His father stabs his mother to death, and young Rip Wheeler kills his own father with a frying pan. He beats him to death. We travel forward a little bit in time, and Rip is hiding out in a big hayloft, and young John Dutton is brought in to sort of solve this problem of this kid, this orphan, sort of hiding in this hayloft. So young John Dutton finds young Rip Wheeler and sort of says to him, okay, I'm going to offer you a job. You can come work for the Yellowstone, but you're committing to work for the Yellowstone for life. Are you up to that? Is that what you want? Could you see that sort of being your future? And young Rip agrees. So it's the very beginning of the relationship between Rip and JD that is so sort of strong by the time we find it in Yellowstone episode 101. Okay, so back in the present, the bodies of the tourists from episode 107, the last episode, are being recovered. They've been recovered, and this bear has been killed. And basically that scene is being investigated by the police, by Sheriff Donnie Haskell, who suspects or claims that he suspects that there was some wrongdoing, some mischief afoot, and that Rip's story isn't legitimate. So one thing that Rip has to do in order to sort of prove the legitimacy of his story is he has to bring an officer from the Fish and Wildlife Office to see the scene of the bear shooting to sort of prove that it was self-defense, and that's Officer Skiles. So immediately, as soon as Rip and Officer Skiles set off to go and check out the scene of this bear crime, Law and Order Bear Victims Unit. As soon as they set off on their horses, Officer Skiles is kicked off her horse and impaled on a fence post, and Rip has to save her life. So Rip has to call a helicopter and get it in to bail her out and save her. So basically, Rip, wherever he goes, violence follows. And even when he tries to do the right thing, when he tries to go through all the sort of legal avenues, it keeps coming back to haunt him. That's a major motif. And you got Casey. Casey goes back to his house from the hospital. He's been with Monica in the hospital. He goes back to his house, and his house has been ransacked. It's been torn to pieces by the treasure hunters that had been flying the drone over the reservation. So Casey's fucking pissed. His house is a mess, and very importantly, Tate's dinosaur bones are gonzo. All the way gone, which Tate is not going to be happy about. Then we check in on Dan Jenkins and Rainwater. They're still trying to get their deal going. They're still trying to to figure out their all-star team up to bring down John Dutton, and they finally shake on it. They finally say, fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's crush John Dutton. Let's destroy the Yellowstone. Let's team up and join forces. It's a major, sort of League of Evil situation, Evil League. I forget what the name of the bad guys team is, the sort of bizarro Avengers. I'm sure that you know and can comment below. Okay, and then you got Beth and her assistant Jason back from 101, still working on Operation Destroy Dan Jenkins. So they find out that Dan Jenkins is like dramatically financially overextended because he's bought this land and now he can't do anything with it because he can't get power to it. Although Rainwater's helping him out with that one. You and I know, but but Beth doesn't know. And so Beth and Jason are planning to destroy Dan, and one of their plans is they're going to buy up all the publicly traded shares of his company and effectively take partial ownership of his company. And then, sort of very importantly, Monica, who is struggling with these health issues, says to Casey, you invent situations for us to run from. I'm not begging you to stay. I'm telling you to go. So Monica and Casey break up. Monica leaves Casey and takes Tate, and they go to live with Felix Long, Monica's grandfather. Huge emotional, pivotal scene. Casey leaves that scene, and he stops at a gas station to get gas, and he's approached by a drifter who first asks him for money and then tries to rob him. And Casey, in his sort of grief and in his anger, beats the shit out of that drifter and hurts him very badly. Okay. Jamie, who has been campaigning sort of vigorously for Attorney General of Montana, gets back to the ranch after 2 days of campaigning, and John Dutton is fucking pissed because this whole time John Dutton needed Jamie's legal help to get Rip off from these charges that are being leveraged against him. Fuck. We're close. We're getting closer every time. We're very close. So Jamie gets back to the ranch. John Dutton says, where the fuck were you? Christina, Jamie's campaign manager, had been screening John Dutton's calls, and Jamie didn't know about it. But John Dutton is fucking furious, and John Dutton and Jamie get in a fist fight. John Dutton says to Jamie, you can't run for Attorney General. We're not going to fucking back you anymore. I'll back your opponent. They get in a huge fist fight, and Rip has to pull them apart. So this is we got Monica and Casey separating, and now Jamie and John Dutton are becoming enemies, are sort of being ripped apart by their circumstances. Amazing. Okay, Rip goes back to the cabin, to his cabin, and Walker's there waiting. Rip gives Walker a beer, and Walker says, hey man, I don't know about this. I'm not going to break the law for you. I see what you make these branded men do. I'm not going to do it. And Rip says, buddy, you're never fucking leaving this ranch. It's time to reconcile yourself with what you're going to be asked to do. Okay, then we're back at the campaign headquarters. Jamie's all fucked up because he just got in this fight with his dad, and his dad just punched him in the face. And he's trying to decide if he's gonna stop his campaign, if he's going to oppose his dad. And Christina, his campaign manager, really pushes him to oppose his dad and says to him, "Hey, do something for you. For once, do something for you. Don't do it for your dad. Don't do it for your family. Don't do it for the Yellowstone. Do it because you want to do it." And then in the bunkhouse boys, they stole Jimmy's old shitty hat, the straw hat, and they give him a new one, a very nice hat. It's a very touching moment. It's very sweet, very important for Jimmy. Big step forward in terms of feeling like he's a part of this ranch. And that's Yellowstone, episode 108, The Unraveling, part 1, in like about 6 minutes.
That was good.
Not too bad. Getting better. Getting better. While we're at it, let's talk about some important things. Okay, episode MVP of this episode. Episode MVP! Jamie Dutton. This is a huge Jamie episode. This rift that has been between Jamie and Beth, how poorly Jamie's been treated by his family all episode, it finally all season, it finally boils over in this episode. And John Dutton punches Jamie, and Jamie finally sort of strikes out on his own. Very important Jamie Dutton episode. Wes Bentley, amazing actor. What a blast. Okay. My grandmother's favorite line of the episode. I don't know what those graphics are going to be, but they better be meticulous. Okay, check it out. My grandma, she loves all the swearing on the show. That's her favorite part. All her friends, they love the swearing. That's their favorite part of the show. So my grandmother's favorite line of this episode is young Rip saying, "I should have killed that motherfucker years ago." It's my grandma's favorite line. Here's a fun Easter egg. So when Casey and Monica break up, a song plays. It's Pucifer. It's called The Green Valley. And that song, when I first got to Utah to learn how to ride a horse before the very first episode of Yellowstone started filming, Taylor Sheridan played that song for me at his house in Park City, Utah. Taylor's a brilliant writer, and music is part of his process. He often, I think, he's a brilliant writer, but also like a brilliant editor and a brilliant director. And I think music is a big part of storytelling for him. So that song was part of the show from the very beginning. And when it plays during that episode, it's like a very powerful moment. It's sort of infused with all of that meaning for Taylor as well, I think. Jeff's favorite guest stars. So my favorite guest star for this episode is Michaela Conlon, who plays Sarah Nguyen. I think she's amazing, and Sarah's been working undercover in the Dutton campaign and the Dutton AG campaign for episodes now, and it's clear that something's sort of boiling and building there, and we're not entirely sure what it is yet. As an audience, we're a little bit like, what's her motives? What's going on with her? She's a very sort of, she's a character that we're just sort of starting to get to know, and I think that Michaela's an amazing actor. Okay, Jimmy gets hurt. Jimmy gets hurt. Jimmy gets hurt. These are all like fun ways that an editor could modify my voice, or I could just do it live. I could just fucking do it live. Jimmy gets hurt. Jimmy gets hurt. Jimmy gets hurt. Jimmy gets hurt. There's like all the fun different voice filters that you don't have to do. Now you're gonna have to work really hard to make each of those sound like my real voice, using effects, sort of inverse effects. Jimmy doesn't get hurt in this episode. After all of that fanfare, he doesn't get hurt. He gets a hat. He gets helped. Although if you want to make the argument that we all die alone, in some ways, getting closer to other people or feeling more at home on the ranch is just setting him up for a much further fall later on. Maybe trusting other people at all is a mistake in the first place. So maybe Jimmy gets hurt by being fooled into thinking that there's a future for him. That's a different kind of getting hurt. In memoriam, pour one out for the victims of this episode. Rip's whole family? Fuck. It's really dark. That flashback is really dark. It's a brutal way to start an episode. Taylor Sheridan, just when you start to feel any kind of warm fuzzies. Not a warm fuzzies guy. Brutal flashback. So pour one out for them. Pour one out directly onto your expensive microphone. I would never do that. I
think we should go to some questions from Instagram. Becca Theodoro wants to know, what inspired you to become an actor?
Well, my mom is a librarian, a public librarian, and she does lots of puppet shows at her library. So from a very early age, I was like helping my mom with these puppet shows. From a very early age, I was sort of encouraged to express myself. And it's funny, I think when you tell a kid they're good at anything, they start to identify in that way, and then they take it more seriously, and they like work harder at it. So it's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. So from a young age, I was really lucky. My parents encouraged me, my friends encouraged me, my teachers encouraged me. Yeah, so that's kind of how I got it. And also, I just love stories, you know? I, from a very young age, loved going to plays, loved watching movies. You love stories so much, and then you start to, at a certain point, if you're deeply unlucky, you start to imagine maybe you could be a part of those stories, and then you're screwed, and you got to spend the rest of your life courting this fickle mistress. How about that? Courting this fickle mistress. Look at that. Pretty good line.
Jennifer wants to know if you guys have the same birthday, November 3rd.
That is my birthday. Happy birthday, Jennifer. Big up to the Scorpios. Big up to the Scorpios out there, Jennifer. How you doing? It can be hard. People like to talk shit about Scorpios because we're like ambitious. That's like we're like, because we want stuff for ourselves. And because I think we can be like competitive and sort of petty and like, people like to talk shit about Scorpios, but I see you, Jennifer. I see you, and I know that that's not, I know that you're more than that.
Gunnar Brown, 2004, wants to know what your first thought was when meeting Rip, aka Cole Hauser.
Awesome. What's Gunnar's astrological sign?
That I don't know.
We don't know. Hey, Gunnar, could you just follow up and let us know? So we can have this conversation, because otherwise I don't really know where to meet you, what level to meet you at.
We'll start asking that going forward. Social handle, astrological sign.
Yeah, just so I know how to communicate with you, because I'm a double Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio rising. Double Scorp. Great question, Gunnar. What was my first thought meeting Rip? That dude, Cole Hauser, nice guy. Also a very frightening guy, a very powerful presence. He just has so much presence. He's such a like potent force of a human. I think he's a Leo, if that means anything to you. He's either a Leo or a Taurus. He's one of the like real badass, like powerful force of nature personalities. And it's great because Jimmy's supposed to be afraid of him. So me being a little bit low-key afraid of Cole Hauser, that only ever helped.
He's an Aries.
He's an Aries. Dang. Is that like the war? Soldier?
I literally have no idea.
Wow, Bria. Your ignorance is really showing. Wow. I don't know either. I only really know mine and then the people that have hurt me.
So you've never been hurt by an Aries?
Never been hurt by an Aries, so Aries must be cool. I mean, I've been physically hurt by an Aries. Rip Wheeler. Cole Hauser. Is Rip an Aries? Cole's an Aries. Is Rip an Aries?
I don't know. I don't know when Rip's birthday is.
Wow.
Does Rip have a birthday? It
Maybe
doesn't
not.
seem like he would celebrate birthdays.
Probably not. That's sweet, though. Season 15, maybe we'll find out. Fingers crossed.
Jerry Wayne Rucker wants to know if you wear a cowboy hat when you're not filming.
I don't. I think they're very cool. I live in New York City, and those things are big. The wide brim on the subway, that would be taking up a lot of space. In New York, you learn to take up, I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm 6'1". You learn to try to take up as little space as possible all the time. In Texas, everything's bigger. There's a lot of space for you to take up. On the A train, commuting from home to work, not so much space.
Not a question, but Cowgirl Can't says, you're a straight up badass.
That's very kind. Thank you. I think she also called
I think she did too.
and said I'm a badass. That's so nice. Thank you for your
So
persistence.
It must be true then.
I don't know. Listen, if there's anything I know about myself, it's that I have a really hard time internalizing affirmations from people that show me affection or show me kindness, and I only really respect the opinions of people that don't show me kindness. You ever experience that? It's really easy for me to trust people who don't like me because some part of me doesn't like myself. It's hard for me to trust people who affirm me or show me kindness. So thank you very much for your persistence. Maybe one day I'll feel that way.
Christy Willow 3 asks, what has inspired you the most in your career?
What has inspired me the most in my career? I've been really lucky to work with a lot of really incredible actors, and not just very talented, good actors, but also very kind and generous and thoughtful actors. My very first TV show, was a show called The Americans on FX, and my very first scene was with Kerry Russell, who was the lead of that show and who's a brilliant actor. And I remember her being very good at acting, but I also just remember her being so nice to me, to an idiot kid who like was coming into her job and like stumbling around and fucking it up, and she was so patient with me and thoughtful and kind on my very first day on a television set ever. So I find that very inspiring, and I try to show that same kindness and generosity to folks that come onto Yellowstone for just a couple days. I try to be as open and kind to them as Carrie Russell was to me, because it was such a gift, and it was so sort of empowering and helped me feel confident on my very first day on a TV set 5 years ago.
Memes275 says, if you had to play another character on the show, who would it be and why?
You fuck with memes? You want to talk about memes? My favorite meme right now is cats can have a little salami as a treat. Do you guys know this meme? It's very internet. Do you know that meme, Bria?
I don't.
And you're pretty internet, too.
Pretty internet.
You are quite internet. Cats can have a little salami as a treat. Google it. Do yourself a favor. Here's a little self-care tip. Google cats can have a little salami as a treat. You'll have a great time. If I was going to play any other character but Jimmy on Yellowstone, I probably would have been the medical examiner that Rip kills in episode 102. That's who I would have got cast as. That's my type. I'm for sure that type.
No, not type, though. If
I could pick?
Yeah. If you could play any character.
I think Jamie. I think Jamie is a fascinating character. And a part of why I love Jamie is because I think Wes Bentley's so fucking good. So it's hard to imagine anybody, I don't know if I'd want to play that character because Wes Bentley's so fucking good at it. If I was going to work on Yellowstone in a capacity other than being Jimmy, I think I'd want to work in the camera department. Because it's the show, like, we have such talented DPs, we have such talented camera operators, and I learned so much from them all that I think I'd love to be like a second AC, on Yellowstone.
Cool. That's all we got for today.
Hell yeah. What do you think about maybe we'd listen to some of these voicemails?
I love that idea.
Thank you so much. It's my own personal idea that I had. Okay, so we put on Instagram a little voicemail inbox you can call into. You can leave a favorite moment from Season 1. We haven't heard these before. Let's give them a listen.
Hey, this is Kevin Costner. Just calling to say what's up. I thought we were going to go to a movie last week, but you never got back to my text. Just let me know what's going on. I still haven't seen it yet. So if you want to go this week, that'd be fun or whatever. Just hit me up. Let me know what's going on. Cheers, bro. Miss you. Bye now.
I will text Kevin Costner. I do have his phone number. He's a close personal friend of mine. Just kidding. That was me. I called in myself and did that.
What?
Yeah.
That is shocking information.
I know. It was wishful thinking. Sometimes you just got to go through the motions of something until it becomes real. I
mean, we put it out here now. You and Kevin going to the movies together. It's going to happen.
Here's the thing, is I think he'd be down. He's a very generous, kind, nice guy. I think I'm way too afraid to ever ask.
But you wouldn't have to talk to him during. You just have to sit there.
Why wouldn't I want to talk to him?
Well, because it's a movie.
But we both work in movies. We both see into movies. We just chat.
Well, I don't think the other moviegoers would like that.
What movie are we going to? Maybe there's not that many other people there.
Well,
I saw
that's
Avengers Endgame in Texas at 9 a.m. for $5.50 the day it came out.
That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy? Texas. Again, I guess like matinee prices at a mall. In New York City, a movie costs $18. It really does. This was in 3D the day it came out. Avengers Endgame. 9 a.m., pretty psychotic. I went to an IHOP before. This is when I was still eating carbs. I'm paleo now. Hell yeah. Hard to go into an IHOP and say, hey, I'm paleo. You just get like bacon, I guess. A lot of non-paleo options at an IHOP. Okay, I'm getting a signal from the producers. They want me to talk more about being paleo. They think that's very relatable.
Super relatable.
Okay, let's listen to another voicemail.
I'm Josh Johns. My favorite part of the Yellowstone's when Rip tells you I show you how to get rid of a problem before it becomes your problem. It'd be fun to be a part of that show, man.
Thanks, Josh. That rules, man. Yeah, that's one way to handle a problem, right? I think another way to get rid of a problem before it becomes a problem is to talk to your loved ones and communicate. You could murder them. Or you could like express to them that you feel bad, and you could sort of go through some conflict.
I like that
Conflict
those are the only
resolution.
two options.
That's it. Murder or the healthy conflict resolution. What if Rip was like, I'm going to show you how to get rid of this problem before it becomes a problem. And then he like just sits down at a table. He's like, okay, I'm going to mediate a long, thoughtful conversation. You're going to talk. How do you feel, Jimmy? Tell him how you feel. That's not how he solves problems. We know. You and I know, listener. Okay, great. Here we go.
Jefferson, by far, my favorite Jimmy moment of season 1 was when you brought the calf back and you found the calf and brought it back. That was just, it made me fall in love with Jimmy. He is one of the all-time favorite characters on Yellowstone, so I think you bring him to life brilliantly. My handle is Tracy, TRACYM0516. Looking forward to seeing more of you on season 3. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
That rules, Tracy. Thank you. That was one of my favorite moments, too.
A lot of people seem to like the calf moment.
That's really sweet. On that day, that was the most stressful day in my life. I was so, in a lot of these situations, I was worried about myself getting hurt, but I was really worried about that calf getting hurt. Because there's a lot of trust involved with, that calf is effectively riding me, and then I'm riding a horse. That calf is the top of a pyramid. You guys watched Cheer on Netflix yet? Oh, it's amazing. But basically, that calf is the top of the pyramid. So I was worried about the calf. So I'm glad that people responded to that because it was very hard to do. That was the only day I ever saw the stunt guys looking nervous. When they're doing some stuff, they're fine with it. Like, anytime you ask one of these guys, like one of these incredible cowboys or Wranglers to do it, they're like, yeah, great, that sounds great. When they have to watch me do it, they get nervous. Thanks, guys. Thanks for caring about my well-being in that way and expressing your concern. We made it through. A lot of really talented people helped us make it through.
So we're going to call Nanny now.
Okay. So this is our producer, Bria's grandmother, Nanny.
Hello.
Hi, Nanny. This is Jefferson White. I played Jimmy on Yellowstone.
Hi, guy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'll tell you, my 90-year-old heart is just pounding up.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
I enjoy every minute of this.
Bria,
This
can
is
you
the highlight
talk?
of.
Yeah, I can talk. Hi, Nanny.
Hi, darling. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you for this wonderful opportunity you've set before me here. This is great. Wait till I tell the girls at the beauty.
Do they watch the show?
Yes.
Oh, they do? Good.
Of course.
Well, we wanted to hear
course.
some of your thoughts about season 1, the show.
Okay. What do you want to know?
Well, I'm curious if you have any favorite characters, if you have any favorite moments.
Oh, well, yes, I have a favorite character. I'm talking to him right now. This is wonderful.
You don't have to say that just because you're talking to me, Nanny. If
No. I have no filter, Jimmy. I am very straightforward.
All right.
Hey, Nanny, you can call him Jefferson.
Yeah, what?
You can call him Jefferson. He's just Jimmy on the show.
I can?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, that is wonderful. Wait till I tell the girls at the beauty shop.
You can call me whatever you want. But when Cole Hauser calls you in 10 minutes, you also got to tell him that I'm your favorite character when we get Rip on the line.
Okay. Okay.
It's so kind of you.
I'm going to talk to Rip, too.
You're going to talk to everyone. It'll just be me, but I'll make my voice lower.
Now, listen, every show is my favorite show. I love you. I don't know what it is about you, but I love you.
Well, thank you so much. We're huge fans of Bria's here at Paramount Network.
Hey, she's a great girl, and I love her too.
Nanny, how do you feel about the swearing on Yellowstone?
You know, like I say, I have no filter, but it's not. Yellowstone is not the first time I've heard that word. As a matter of fact, years ago we were in Hawaii. And I don't know what program it was on, but they used the F word, and I thought, oh my golly, that will never happen stateside. And here we go.
And here we go.
Hey, listen, that stands for something. I don't know whether you knew that or not. It stands for, let me see if I can remember it now, for unlawful carnal knowledge. And
Wow.
they started using that as a shortcut to that.
Is that
Yeah,
true?
That's what it, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I'm 90. You know, everything I say is true.
That's amazing. So this
Hey,
is now,
Jimmy.
you've made it an educational program. Thank you.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, it is true. Now listen, every show you're on, I love. And you know what I told you on the note I sent you?
On your voicemail?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my golly.
Nanny, it's so nice to
Hey,
talk
this-
to you.
Hey, this is wonderful. Well, I started to say again, wait until I tell the girls at the beauty shop.
You tell the
One
girls
of
at your
them,
beauty
she-
parlor, and I'll tell the girls at my beauty parlor.
Okay. That's a good deal. I'll tell you the reason I say the beauty shop, one of the ladies there, she's a church lady, but you are her favorite show, too. And I think she's bought all of the CD, whatever you call those things. I'm not
DVDs.
inclined. I told you I'm 90. That's all I can
Yeah, that's
She
remarkable.
likes your program.
Oh,
Wait
good.
till I tell her.
Yeah, please. What's her name?
Her name is Nedra, Nedra.
Nedra, thank you so
And-
much for watching.
Oh!
You, Nanny, you can tell Nedra we said thank you very much on air.
I appreciate that, and she will too. This is the highlight of my year.
Oh,
it doesn't
I'm
matter
so
what
glad,
happens from
Nanny.
here on out.
What a blast. Thank you again so much for talking with us. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thanks, darling. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good day. That's amazing. I think one of the morals of Yellowstone is, talk to your family, the value of family, staying connected, loyalty. That's incredible. What a beautiful thing.
She taught me something I've never heard before.
Yeah, for unlawful carnal knowledge. Did you know that, Michael? Michael knows everything.
It's also the name of a Van Halen album. So
Oh, cool. Hell yeah, Van Halen.
Didn't know.
Generational differences.
Yeah, we don't. We're too young.
Thanks, Nanny. That's a wrap, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in for episode 8 of Welcome to the Yellowstone. We're having a great time. We're having a lot of fun. If you want to keep up with us, make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Make sure you're following Paramount Network on YouTube. And make sure you're following the new and exclusive Paramount Network TikTok account. That's not me. They're telling me to do that. Well, you want me to Is that what you wanted?
I feel like that's a good entry into the theme song.
The theme song.
That was a good one.
Here's Yellowstone. Here's you could do a little intro music. Save you some time. Save you a little money, huh? Or you could pay that money to me. I have 3 roommates. I'm 30 years old. Loop that. This is a sort of more minimalistic one. This is like kind of drone music or EDM. Ready? Here's the second layer. It's like EDM. You guys know EDM, electronic dance music? All right, here's the third layer. It's like a drone. God, people are going to be so deeply annoyed with me. It's funny. People like you, and then you show them too much of yourself. You change that real quick. You guys aren't sick of me yet, are you?
Never.
All right, see you next time on Welcome to the Yellowstone. Thanks so much for watching.